Every week, somewhere in the world, a new railway project is announced, a new tender is published, a new deadline is set, and somewhere, the decision maker needs to know exactly what it means. Welcome to RailCompass, your compass for navigating global railway and metro project opportunities. This week, we are looking at, let's begin.
870 kilometers, 3 countries, 1 standard gauge railway, 15.3 billion euros, and a 2030 deadline that is now less than 4 years away. Rail Baltica is Europe's most complex cross-border infrastructure project under active construction. It connects Tallinn in Estonia to Warsaw in Poland through Riga and Kaunas on an entirely new standard gauge track designed for 249 kilometers per hour. And right now, in 2026, this project is entering the most critical phase of its procurement cycle. Materials frameworks worth 1.13 billion euros are signed and active. A 1.77 billion euro electrification contract was awarded last year. Regional rolling stock, 20 trains, 200 kilometers per hour, has just been tendered by all 3 Baltic operators jointly. If you are in rail infrastructure supply, track work, signaling, electrification, rolling stock, and you're not tracking Rail Baltica, you're missing one of the most active procurement pipelines in Europe. And there is one dimension of this project that the mainstream rail industry press almost never covers, but that I will explain at the end of this video. It changes how you should think about the entire timeline. Let me establish the fundamentals. Because Rail Baltica is genuinely unlike any other project in this channel's coverage. Every other project we have analyzed, Riyadh Line 7, Dublin Metrolink, Penang Mushira, Ankara YHD Gar, is a single national project with a single client in a single country. Rail Baltica is 3 national projects coordinated by a joint venture, RB Rail AS, owned equally by Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania. 3 national implementing bodies, Rail Baltic Estonia, Eiropas Dzelzceļa Līnijas in Latvia, and LTG Infra in Lithuania. 3 national funding streams, 3 sets of national procurement regulations, 1 unified railway, graphic route map, Tallinn Parnu Riga, Riga Airport, Panevėžys, Kaunas, Warsaw. The route, 870 kilometers of entirely new alignment. Standard gauge, 1,435 millimeters, replacing the Russian broad gauge that has isolated the Baltic states from the European rail network since the Soviet era. Double track in full scope, SIN. GLE track in Phase 1. Passenger speed, 249 kilometers per hour. Freight, 120 kilometers per hour. Electrification, 25 kV AC overhead. Signaling, ERTMS Level 2. Key stations, Ulamist Multimodal Terminal in Tallinn. Already under construction and first platform open June 2025. Riga Central Station, reconstruction underway. Riga International Airport Station, Kaunas International Station, and the Polish border crossing at the Suwałki Gap, connecting into the existing Warsaw, Białystok, Elk Line. Timeline, Phase 1 target, 2030. Estonia, maintaining that date. Latvia, now projecting 2035 for its full section. Lithuania, 114 kilometers under construction, on track. Total Phase 1 budget, 15.3 billion euros. Current funding, approximately half secured. EU Connecting Europe Facility, CEF, is the primary funding mechanism, supplemented by national budgets. Here is why 2026 is the year Rail Baltica matters most for the supply chain. The project has been in planning, design, and early civil works for years. But 2025 and 2026 mark the transition from design to full-scale construction. And with that transition comes the largest wave of procurement the project has ever generated. What has already been awarded? 726 million euros in Estonian mainline construction contracts. 2 alliances signed in 2025. GRK Suomi Leading Alliance, 1 covering Ulamist to Parnu. Weeg Travo Publics Leading Alliance, 2 covering Parnu to Ikla. Total potential value with material options, 932 million euros, the largest infrastructure contracts in Estonian history. 1.77 billion euro electrification contract, awarded September 2025 to the Kobolek Consortium, led by a Lechner/Cobra. This covers the entire 870 kilometers corridor, 2 by 25 kV AC, 10 traction substations, from Tallinn to the Polish border. 1 unified electrification system, 1.13 billion euros. Superstructure materials frameworks, signed March 2026. Rails available from July 2026. Sleepers and crushed stone from September 2026. Switches and expansion devices by end 2026. What is active now? The 20-train regional EMU tender, joint procurement by Elrin, Vivi, and LTG Link. Bids closed May 4th, 2026. Evaluation underway. Award expected Q4 2026. The 2026 procurement plan from RB Rail includes Southern Ulamist terminal construction, Latvia and Lithuania power system services, and multiple additional infrastructure works packages across all 3 countries. And Latvia, facing a cost challenge we will discuss in a moment, is preparing redesigned procurement packages for its southern section. Rail Baltica is not just a large project. It is technically demanding in ways that distinguish it from most European rail construction. Challenge 1. Peat bog foundations. Large sections of the Baltic corridor cross deep peat and soft soil terrain, particularly in Estonia and Latvia. These zones require 30 to 50 meter deep pile foundations or vibroflotation treatment before any embankment can be constructed. The cost premium is significant, and it is one reason Latvia's per kilometer construction cost is running 2.3 times higher than Estonia's comparable sections. That Latvia cost challenge is real and serious. RB Rail's own CEO publicly acknowledged it in June 2026. The Latvian section is facing potential redesign of its southern alignment, a decision that would add 18 months to that country's timeline. The implication for 2035 versus 2030 in Latvia is not just a scheduling question. It is a funding question. Challenge 2. Natura 2000 protected areas. The corridor crosses 12 EU Natura 2000 protected zones, habitats for protected species. Each requires wildlife crossing structures, noise barriers, and environmental monitoring programs. This adds cost and design complexity that does not exist in urban rail projects. Challenge 3. The Suwalki Gap. The section where the Rail Baltica corridor reaches the Polish border crosses the Suwalki Gap, the narrow land corridor between Russia's Kaliningrad exclave and Belarus. This is both the most strategically sensitive section of the route and the most recent to interactive construction. Challenge 4. 3-country coordination. Procuring, constructing, and commissioning a single operational railway across 3 national legal systems, 3 procurement frameworks, and 3 national budgets, while maintaining technical compatibility throughout, is the organizational challenge that has no precedent in European rail history. And now for the dimension I promised at the start, the one the mainstream rail press rarely covers. Rail Baltica is a NATO military mobility corridor. In February 2026, a high-level military mobility forum was held in Vilnius, bringing together NATO member states, European Commission representatives, and Baltic defense officials. The explicit topic: how Rail Baltica can support the rapid deployment of NATO forces, equipment, and supplies along Europe's eastern flank. The railway has been designed from the beginning with military loading gauges in mind. Axle loads of 22.5 tons, platform lengths capable of accommodating military vehicles on flatbed wagons, Engage compatibility with the European rail network that allows seamless transit from Germany or Poland into the Baltic states. Why does this matter for the supply chain? Two reasons. First, it elevates the political priority of the project. When a railway is simultaneously a transport asset and a NATO military logistics corridor on the EU's eastern border, the pressure to complete it on schedule becomes geopolitical, not just commercial. That translates in a sustained funding commitment from both the EU and national governments. Second, it affects the risk profile for investors and contractors. A project with this strategic significance is not going to be abandoned or indefinitely delayed. The funding gap that currently exists, 1.756 billion euros unfunded in Estonia's Phase 1 alone, is a timing problem, not an existential one. The EU's next long-term budget cycle is expected to address it. Now let me focus on the active tender that is directly relevant for rolling stock manufacturers and passenger rail operators. On March 18, 2026, the three Baltic passenger operators, Elron of Estonia, Vivi of Latvia, and LTG Link of Lithuania, jointly launched a tender for up to 20 regional electric trains for Rail Baltica. The specifications: standard gauge, 1,435 millimeters. European gauge, not the existing Baltic-Russian gauge. Maximum speed, 200 kilometers per hour. Electrification, 25 kV AC. Matching Rail Baltica's overhead catenary system. Signaling, ERTMS Level 2 compatible. Maximum train length, 106 meters. Minimum seating, 200 seats per train, with a 2+2 layout in standard class and a dedicated family area. Delivery, first 2 trains to Estonia by 2029 for testing. Full fleet operational by in 2030. Initial firm orders, Estonia 5 trains. Options, Estonia +2, Latvia up to 5, Lithuania up to 8. Estimated budget for Estonia's 5 trains, 60 to 75 million euros. Total contract value for the full 20 train. Option, estimated 200 to 300 million euros. Bids closed May 4th, 2026. Evaluation is underway. Award expected Q3, Q4 2026. The likely bidders, Stadler Rail of Switzerland. LTG Link already has Stadler trains arriving in Lithuania. Alstom, CAF, Talgo, Skoda. The field of credible 200 kilometers per hour regional EMU suppliers is not large, but this specification is well within what several European manufacturers can deliver. The supply chain opportunity across Rail Baltica's full procurement pipeline is extensive. Let me map it quickly. Materials already awarded, active for July 2026. Rails, sleepers, ballast, switches, 1.13 billion euro framework. Suppliers are contracted. If you're not in the framework, the next opportunity is the reorder cycle. Electrification, awarded to Kobolek. But the 10 traction substations, cable supply, and installation subcontracts are active procurement within that framework. ABB, Siemens Energy, and Schneider Electric are the substation candidates. Signaling/ERTMS, not yet fully contracted. The ERTMS Level 2 deployment across 870 kilometers is one of the largest European train control system packages outstanding. Alstom, Siemens, Hitachi Rail, and Thales are the credible EDCS Level 2 suppliers at this scale. Civil works, multiple packages still to tender across Latvia and Lithuania. The Latvian redesign process will generate new civil tenders in 2026 to 2027. Rolling stock, the 20-train tender is live, with more likely to follow as Latvia and Lithuania firm up their operational programs. Stations and terminals. Riga Central Station reconstruction is one of the most architecturally significant rail station projects in Europe right now. Professional services, specialist contractors, and systems integrators are all active. Professional services, engineering supervision, program management, environmental monitoring, and commissioning support across 3 countries and a decade of construction. I told you at the start there is one dimension of this project's timeline that the mainstream press almost never covers. Here it is the gauge conversion problem. The Baltic states currently operate their existing railway networks on Russian broad gauge, 1,520 millimeters. The existing Elrin trains in Estonia, the LG Link trains in Lithuania, all broad gauge. Rail Baltica is 1,435 millimeters standard gauge. They are incompatible. That means the moment Rail Baltica opens, even partially, you need a completely separate fleet of standard gauge trains. You cannot transfer existing rolling stock. You cannot use existing depots without modification. The standard gauge railway and the broad gauge network are parallel, independent systems. And here is the consequence. The 20-train tender that just closed is not the end of the rolling stock requirement. It is the beginning. As Rail Baltica sections open progressively, Estonia sections first, then Latvia, then Lithuania, each country will add EED additional standard gauge capacity beyond the initial 5-5-8 split. Latvia's right to decide on train purchases within 3 years of Elrin's first service gives you a sense of the phased procurement logic. These 20 trains are the seed order. The operational fleet will be larger. 4 rolling stock manufacturers. This is a decade-long Baltic relationship, not a single contract. Speaker looks directly into camera. Here's what you do right now. 1. Go to railbaltica.org. The procurement portal lists all active and upcoming tenders across all 3 countries. 2. If you're a rolling stock manufacturer, the regional train evaluation is underway, but the next order round is already visible in the timeline. 3. If you are in ERTMS signaling, the 870 kilometers deployment package is the most significant outstanding procurement on this project. Watch for the RFQ. 4. Subscribe to RailCompass. Next Thursday, video 2 of the Rail Baltica series. Every major system category, who supplies what, and why the cross-border coordination challenge creates a supply chain requirement that does not exist in any single country project. Rail Baltica, 870 kilometers, 3 countries, 1 railway. The procurement is live.